we do is we install primarily data cabling, so that's from the back of the PC to the server cabinet. That can involve going through roof spaces, through underground ducts, etc., etc. So that, in a nutshell, that's what we do. So it's the infrastructure for your computer network. We've got guys up on ladders, we've got guys potentially going into hazardous areas, i.e. working over machinery, which sometimes is unavoidable. People walking around offices, because we're often working in offices that are working offices. Materials, things like asbestos, because we're in cable ducts, we're in heating ducts, we're in roof spaces, all the places where you can get asbestos. We're going from the outside of a building to the inside of a building, so that can be going through suffixes, which of course traditionally were asbestos, for instance. So it's that whole group of things. We use a little bit of nasty substances like alcohol, for instance, when we're terminating fibre optics. So it's really just being aware of what what potential hazards there are, mitigating those hazards. I mean, the last thing I would want as a director of a company is to be phoned up by somebody saying, "Oh, one of your guys has just fallen off a ladder and broken his neck." I know the guys. They're although they work for me, they're also friends. So I'm lucky in that the guys I've got working for us are very sensible. But there are still cases where you need to say, right, this is what we need to look for. So that's really why health and safety is important. I think the fact that we can put in front of people risk assessments that make sense. We've got a health and safety policy, which again makes sense. It's not full of waffle. It actually, when you read it, it actually makes sense. And I think that's the great thing that Sureteam bring to the party, if you like, is that they are health and safety, which has got a pretty bad name in some respects, but they're not. How can I put it politely? They're not jobsworths. That they're realistic. They understand that there are circumstances where there is more risk than other risk. It's a case of the risk you need to take is that the minimum risk you can possibly take to do the job, and they're very good at helping you make that decision. There's obviously the ins and outs of the more sort of technical aspects of health and safety, rules and regs. But again, you're on the phone, Sean or Peter or whoever. I've got this issue. How do I deal with it? What do I need to do? And they're great at that, on that level as well.